Hello. What happened?
That cut you off right as you were talking, right mid-sentence, and it just blasted on screen.
I didn't know if you could hear me or not, so I just stopped talking.
I heard it, and I was like, oh, no. He started talking right when I hit that button. It's going to cut him off. Sure enough, it did. All right, everybody. Welcome to Tusk Talk with Ty. It's Monday night, and we are actually on time-ish.
Yeah.
You know what? It's 6:30 somewhere. No, it's 6:30. We're good. We're good. It is the 14th already. We're getting through the month of April really fast. Not fast enough because I'm ready. I'm already ready for football season, or I don't know, basketball season. Pick your poison. It always ends in disappointment. Oh, I'm just kidding. It doesn't always.
I'm here for track season. I'm fired up about this track season.
Let's go, baby.
We're going to the ship, baby.
Hey, and that's like almost guaranteed when you're talking about track. It's like, you know, they're going to do something. They're going to win the conference. Like it's just a guarantee. Whereas the other sports, it's just really hard for Arkansas to do.
You know, everybody was mad that we lost the baseball game the other day. Not that big a deal. Not that big a deal to me. We're a pretty good baseball team, dude. They've lost like 5 games.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They've lost one game this year by more than 1 run.
Yeah.
And I don't know of a Dave Van Horn team that's done that with the same amount of like losses at this point in the year. And he's not done this very often either. Hey, do me a favor, everybody. Make sure you like, please, for the love of God, like,
subscribe, share,
subscribe, do all that stuff. It is for me, this is talking season. Everyone talks about like August being talking season. I'm like, no, dude, it's talking season now because that's all we can do is talk and try to keep up with all the portal stuff, which we are going to try to do. We're going to get caught up on some Arkansas basketball portal talk. We got a player on campus as we speak. We'll briefly talk a little bit of baseball. We'll do a little bit of that. And of course, we're going to get into the scrimmage that they held on Saturday and the scrimmage to come on Saturday at noon, assuming it doesn't get rained out. And God, what else do we have?
Oh, really? They're gonna rain out the red-white game? That was
it's like 85% on Saturday right now. It's
get out, bro. Get through it.
85%. I'm hoping that's like maybe later in the day. I don't know.
Some direct service ponchos being made. Let's go.
There you go. Hand them out, or umbrellas. Get us talking direct service overhead umbrellas, man. We'll get them made. We'll get them made over in China, and we'll avoid the tariffs completely because we'll just buy straight from the manufacturer.
Perfect.
Boom. See,
it costs us $12.
Business minds, great business minds think alike. All right. I don't know what Steven Ryan says. He says yes, no. I don't know what that's about.
There's a lot of stuff going on above that.
I'm trying to scroll up here. What's up, John? How you doing? By the way, this is a call-in show. If you're in Discord, if you're a Tusk Talk Discord member and you call in, we're going to give you XP. We're going to go ahead and give you 1,000.
Y'all always got something you want to say. Say it.
Yeah.
Say it to my face.
Or also, I'm gonna also put you on a wheel spin that I'll do tonight in Discord to win one of these random Razorback cards.
Who do I
former Arkansas player cards. And I got some damn good ones here.
How's got the plug, bro, on the cards?
Yeah, someone finally my PO box is being utilized instead of having to like, you know, travel around. Not that I was doing a lot of that, but I'm just getting sent straight to my PO box. So I got a couple of good cards. So I'll add you to a wheel spin where you'll get an opportunity to win one of these cards. Might be autographed, might not, but it will be a former Arkansas player card. So yeah, make sure that's what you do if you call in. You're going to be signed up for that. And I'll post that number or that link here in a minute. Kevin McPherson says Pierre is not coming to Arkansas. Okay. Well, there you go. I guess that answers.
Just turn it off. Show's over. We're out of here.
Show's over. We're done.
Let's go enjoy the time with our families.
Yeah. See you guys later. I wonder when that happened. I'm going to be real. I don't know. I've
seen some smoke about him going to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Ole Miss.
We don't know because we're not hearing anything at all.
Well, it's all out of it. It is. I'm not. I have been asked about this. I have been asked about this specific question, right, or this statement here. Kevin McPherson is out of control, calling recruits, but we aren't getting Pierre. apparently we never recruited him per multiple insiders. That's funny because I think I've certainly heard that Arkansas had reached out, but maybe didn't follow up. So that was going to be the, well, there you go. That was going to be it. I just spilled the beans for the tail end of this show. But I was asked about Kevin McPherson doing that. Now, you guys know, a lot of you know, I used to work at Hogville. I helped them jumpstart their YouTube channel. I was there for one football season. Did do a little bit of work with Kevin McPherson. Listen, the guy is really good at what he does. I'll say that he's really good at what he does. He is extremely well plugged in. If you know, and someone asked me this very question, like, how do you feel about him calling recruits? I'll tell you this much: the guy, he gets paid to do a job, and he's doing it. I mean, let's not sit here and act like there aren't people that are going into the DMs of these players who they're not in media. And not that they have to be, but they're, and I know this because I've had people send me screenshots. They'll DM the mom, the dad, the cousins, the friends that are talking about whatever on Instagram or whatever. And they're like, oh, we're friends, we're boys. And they're sending me screenshots. And I'm not telling you should or shouldn't, but it's weird that people are like shaming him for that when there's plenty of other people doing it.
When all we want to know is information about what's going on.
Exactly. I mean, he's doing what he's paid to do.
There's so little information right now. People are just making shit up.
Yeah. That is the truth.
I'm just saying that I've seen so much. You see, one side and then the polar opposite of the other. So it's just like, I don't know.
Someone inside the building told Jackson, Curtis Wilkerson, they didn't recruit him hard. Okay. Well, yeah, that is different because they did, from what I understand, they did reach out. They did reach out and there was some form of a contact made. And I don't know, listen, this sounds like this is what happened. And then they never really truly followed up, but that Arkansas was still at one point as of like 48 hours ago, considered the front runner for him. So again, there's so many conflicting reports. But it does sound like either Arkansas has moved on, or that maybe Jaron Pierre is just he's way more interested in going to Ole Miss. If it's not Arkansas, it's got to be Ole Miss because then the other school is SMU, right?
Yeah, and you got to wonder how much they're being impacted by other people jumping in the portal too. A former Kentucky player jumped in the portal today.
Yeah,
the Kansas State Ugana. Ooh, that's a tough last name.
I saw it.
So
yeah,
he used to play for Cal at Kentucky. Man, he's 7 foot tall.
Mm-hmm. I saw it.
Are these guys jumping in the portal because Cal misses? Mm-hmm. Is he jumping in the portal because Cal would rather have this guy and we're tampering to get these people into the portal?
Whoa!
I hope we are.
Whoa! Tampering.
Tampering. Not even a real word.
Pump your brakes, fam.
Tampering doesn't even count. That's not even a bad word anymore because it's just normal stuff.
Jeremy Robertson, and this is something thrown at me right when all this was going down, was that he was a backup for DJ. And if you look at his numbers, he's obviously a distributor. Like, I mean, he's getting close to 4 assists a game. 6 boards, 22 points. I mean, that's
21 points a game.
He's distributing a little bit. Well, 21.6. He's not a terrific 3-point guy, but he did shoot 38% on the year. He's making about 3 threes a game. So that's actually pretty solid. I love these high percentage free throw guys. I don't know
who's he playing against, dude.
Well, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. The same argument.
The defense you're playing against sucks.
Yeah.
Connor Vanover can make threes against directional schools. Just saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So, but to be fair, though, we've also seen plenty of these guys go on and ball. I mean, you had a couple of guys this year alone come from absolutely nowhere, not even ranked out of the portal, and go on and do great things. Don't ask me names, but there was one kid. Was he at Iowa? Some Big Ten school had a kid out of nowhere and shot ridiculous, like 16 points a game. I don't know, really good. Point is we have seen it before. We have seen guys come out of nowhere and do well. And I've also heard he's closer to like 6'6", and he's a tall 6'6". He's actually above 200 pounds. ESPN says he's 6'5", 188. So Jaron Pierre, if you guys are wondering, it does sound more and more, and we're getting kind of notifications as we're going, that he probably won't end up a Razorback. And this is coming from like a lot of other people.
In our defense, there was a question mark.
Yes, in the title. In the title. I was not going to come on here and be like, no, he's a Hog. He's a Hog.
It's happening, brother.
It's happening, brother. You best believe. You best believe it's happening. No, wasn't going to do that. Gil, this is a good point. Cal knows what he's doing, but I do wonder, are people in chat or anyone watching this after the fact, and please, even if you're here after the fact, leave a comment. Let us know. How are you feeling right now? I mean, it's April 14th. I mean, we got the red-white scrimmage coming up. Now, you do have someone on campus today, and I guess we'll get to him here in a minute.
Somebody just brought him up in chat.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
John Everett said, we're getting Ewan and Pringle, and you're going to like it.
Okay. Well,
I'll take that.
I'm fine with that.
I'd be great with that.
Ewan is on campus, and Pringle's already been on campus. But how are you feeling, though? Like right now, we did this last week where we asked you if you're panicking. I'm on the side of no, but I am surprised it's taken this amount of time.
Yeah, me too. I was talking to somebody on Twitter earlier this morning, and they're like, nobody's really freaking out about Cal yet. And it's like, yeah, well, I kind of trust him. The guy knows what he's doing. He's built championship teams several times over.
Yeah.
But it's hard to be patient.
He's built championship caliber teams.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
He's only won one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did really well everywhere he's been, though. I mean, he's taken everybody to Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, Final Fours, and played in championship games. Still not panicking, but it is like I'll say this, if Pringle and Ewan end up elsewhere, I might start panicking a little bit.
You know what I'll tell you? Cal's got a really good, quiet office because nothing's getting out of there.
Yeah. What was it? Was it you that said that those blinds are always closed? Who said that? Someone said them blinds are always closed.
Wasn't me, but that's good. That makes sense. There ain't no leaks in the basketball office. I promise you that.
There's nothing going on.
We always know kind of what's up in the football office because Hunter Yurchek's burner on Twitter. But
yeah,
but yeah, it's quiet from the basketball office, which sucks.
This is who's visiting today. Malik Ewan. Watched so much of his content.
Look at that. 6'11", 230. That's what that's a man.
Yeah, and he's
a man. He's 40.
He's 40. Yeah, I mean, well, he's only a junior, unless he's was he JUCO? Let's see. He played 2 years. Yeah, one at Ole Miss,
Florida State,
and then Florida State. He must have been
he played at Ole Miss before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
At least he got a little SEC experience. Bit my tongue. Damn it. SEC experience.
3 offensive boards a game last year, man. 3 offensive boards. Now, again, you could make the same argument. Oh, well, where did he play? Who did he play? The ACC was ass cheeks. It's been ass cheeks for like the last several years. The ACC's just not been that great, which is a little bit surprising. Actually, it's a lot surprising.
I think Duke held the whole ACC down the whole tournament.
If you would have told me 10, 15 years ago that they'd be this bad, and the SEC would like break the tournament record for the most teams sent, I'd be like, no way in hell. No way. Come on, dude. Let's be real. We're football here. They're basketball. They're basketball, and they're actually pretty good at baseball too. Florida State, by the way, baseball program that has been to like a bajillion World Series and never won a single College World Series championship, FYI. Just throwing it out there for the Dave Van Horn haters after this weekend. But anyways, Malik Ewan, 6'11", 230. This is probably outdated because if you watch him play, he definitely can bully around a little bit, and he plays like he's closer to 250. Yeah. I mean, he moves well for a guy.
I've been wanting us to get one of those for years. I'm like a bruiser, bro. You know what I mean?
Well,
somebody that's like, holy crap.
No doubt that right, and this right here, they have 0 rim protection. Now, I would argue Brazil is in that neighborhood of being decent, around the rim.
Pooh Bear is calling you out, bro.
Oh, is he? What did he
Pooh
say?
Bear said if it's ass cheeks, why are we getting ACC players?
Well,
ass
I
cheeks
was
players.
I was saying I was just trying to make a comparison. You mentioned the previous kid that I had on the screen about where he's playing. The ACC certainly got a
reasonable. Yeah,
certainly
better.
Yeah. But you're not gonna you want this kid. Malik Ewan is obviously a must get out of the portal. You like the SEC experience, even if it's minimal. He did play in 14 games in 22-23. Played in 30 last year, and again, he's a 59% guy because he's a post guy. Obviously, those numbers are going to be a little bit higher. I don't know that there's anything like what if this is where you're going and Pringle, him and Pringle. So if you're going to have him, Pringle, and Brazil, are you comfortable with that? Like down and around the paint? Like, are you comfortable with that with these two, with Brazil, Ewan, and Pringle? Are you good with that?
I think it would be pretty good.
Yeah.
You think they need another big?
I just want someone so close to Jonas Adu.
I feel like that Kansas kid. Well, I think he's a 5.
You're gonna have to tell me who you're talking about.
His name is so hard to pronounce. Hold on.
Copy and paste that bad boy.
Yeah.
I feel like I know who you're talking about. I just saw it. To be fair, since the cruise, I was catching up last week on all the football practice stuff and a little bit of the portal, quite a bit of the portal. And then we go to Silver Dollar City on Saturday. We're there all day. We get up at like, I don't remember, 7:00. We don't even get home till like 11. And then yesterday I was doing a whole bunch of yard work. So I'm playing catch up all day. And then I was supposed to do wheel spins. By the way, wheel spins are going to happen tonight. I'm talking about the wheel spins that happen in Discord, not the live chat spins.
I got Ugana Onyenson.
Oh God, you're going to have to.
I texted it to you.
Give me the copy. Oh, did you? Well, yeah. I can't copy and paste that on the screen.
Oh, you want to put it on the screen? Oh, Discord. You hold up.
Yeah. Okay. The name
Ugana Onyenson is what I think it's.
That's pretty good. No, that's a pretty good guess, man.
Yeah. I'm trying here. It's tough, but he's played with Cal previously at Kentucky. I don't know why he left. But he's been at Kansas State, and so he's been living in Kansas. So we got a good chance there because Kansas is not awesome to live in. I've lived there.
I've driven through it.
It's flat. It's flat there.
You could see your house from
lots of windmills.
Not the
good kind.
Yeah, they're all about the windmills there. Let me pull him up on screen.
He blocked 103 shots over his 3-year career.
So is this someone that Arkansas is interested in? Do we know if there's an offer?
That I don't know. I just seen him going this morning. It's somebody that I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard a word about it.
Okay.
I should probably follow him on Twitter just in case.
7 foot, 250 pounds.
Big boy.
That's a big one.
2.8. This kid plays defense.
He's purely a defender. Yeah. What's his block?
Defense.
What's his blocking numbers here?
103 over the past 3 years.
Oh shit! I hit that back button. There it is again. What I was griping about. There it is. Yeah, he did play for Cal for 2 years. Yeah, he's not a. Listen, his 23-24 year, the guy's averaging close to 3 blocks a game.
Yeah.
About 5 boards. I mean, that's not bad as like a bench piece, but
I think his minutes were pretty low. Yeah.
I think I'm not gonna lie, Travis. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, probably not.
I love the size, but I wanted Jonas Adu so
I seen
bad.
his height and his weight, and I was like, that could be good. And then I look at his numbers, and I was like, never mind.
Yeah. They got there's
I'm trying to reach
you like the size, but not gonna do it.
Yeah, probably gonna. A lot of people are like going back to Pierre for a minute. People are like, oh well, he wasn't on Cal's radar. Who is? Who was on Cal's radar? If none of these people were going at, like, Wilkerson's not on his radar. He's going to Kentucky, most likely.
Only Cal knows. But
yeah, it's just like, what are you looking for, dude?
Someone I trust a lot in basketball said Arkansas absolutely contacted him, but that it maybe it was one of those like testing, like checking the temperature, and it may not have been Cal. It might have just been someone off his staff. But if that's someone from his staff, then that means Cal was at least testing the waters. And I don't know. Again, I wish. Well, no, I shouldn't say I wish, because we don't want coaches like giving out all their secrets, but it'd be nice with some more transparency later, after the fact. Like, oh yeah, we actually did reach out to him, or we didn't. You don't ever get that, but
I don't even think they can do that. Can they?
I think they can. Yeah,
recruits.
Well, if they're already like, if it's a couple of years later and those kids are out of college, if they're not signed with the school and they're in the recruiting process, I know they can't. Like Sam Pittman can't talk about players that aren't signed and on campus.
Yeah.
But I think like years later, I think coaches can. I think they can talk about it. Maybe
Alan may have a valid point here. He says Nate Ament is Cal's number one priority.
Oh gosh,
could be.
Kid's
a shooter, man.
Makes you nervous
because he's young.
Well, and he was such a heavy Duke lean for a while, right? It still is. Like if you're putting all of your chips in Nate Ament and you get torched and you're losing prospects along the way,
you're losing experienced older prospects,
which is what. Look at the Final Four. Look at the teams that played. Look at the teams that went the distance this year. Not just the Final Four. They were strapped with quite a bit of upperclassmen, guys that had at least 2-3 years playing experience. You know, I don't know how to feel about a true freshman point guard if DJ Wagner were to move on. I don't know that I would. I'd feel. Great
is
about
DJ
that.
Wagner still dating a girl from USC?
That's what I heard.
Was I talking to you about that?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I want to know because I was sitting here going, that would be crazy if he ended up going there.
Yeah.
Must would be like, thank God.
That's about all he is. You got to give it. Come on, John. What are you talking about? You got to realize there's a like a 10-second, 12-second delay.
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of stuff. Trey Bailey said, people need to get off the. Yeah, I'm on it. My bad. People need to get off the Nate hype train. He isn't coming.
You just got torched, son.
Yes.
He got you. Hey, make sure you guys do us a favor. Make sure you like, share, hit the subscribe button. This is the talking season. You know what? We like to shoot the shit, have a little bit of fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously.
Hey, highlight Patrick Smith's comment real quick.
What did he say? What did Patrick say?
I would say Muss has us spoiled when it came to who he was going after in the portal, but I don't see many coaches doing what Cal is doing, mostly keeping us in the dark. Dude, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks and we haven't heard a word.
You have to be fine with it as a fan. And if you're doing what we do where you talk about it, you have to be fine with it, right?
Yeah, well, we don't have a damn choice, you know. But I'm just sitting here like, dude, not even one. Kentucky's announced like 4 recruits already that are signed.
Well,
done.
but those are right. Yeah.
So it's I get it. Like, damn, what are we doing?
Get it.
you know the poke him with the stick memes, like do something.
Yeah. Have you been paying attention to the Discord memes?
The ones of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
they've been kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I got on Discord hammered drunk Friday night. Just went in.
Yeah, you did. I saw it. I got a little tipsy last night and I fell asleep with like my phone in my hand. I woke up and I was like, oh damn.
I went on like a 2-day bender in Central Arkansas this weekend. So I'm gonna try out for like a month now. I'm just like, I'm so dope. I'm too old for that. I'm not built like that no more, dude.
Well, 40 hits hard. I'll just say that.
I thought 30 hit hard. Then I turned like 35 and I was like, this is worse.
I know. I can remember when I turned 30 and I remember thinking like, oh, I'm 30. I'm so old. Now I'm like, shit, hold my beer. I can't even go to Silver Dollar City and do yard work the next day without like needing to take a breather, drinking a Modelo.
All right, one time on Pooh Bear here. Pooh Bear said, I would rather see our Hall of Fame head coach with the biggest NIL budget flex it. It's the last year in the Wild West, so go buy all the players you can. Didn't he learn with Adu Thero injury? Super fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no commit. It's been bad.
There's the call-in link right there.
Call in and talk to us. Pooh Bear, come on, man.
1,000 XP.
Pooh Bear's dropping dimes in here.
If you join Discord today, if you're brand new, you're going to get 2,000 XP. So you can literally join and call in and get 3K XP, and you're competing at that point.
I'm going to need all this XP, by the way. I don't even care about XP. I just like giving you a hard time about it. It's a fun pastime.
It is fun. We make the off. That's what's great about the Discord is we do make it fun, even though that's when the inactivity boils up in Discord when no one's really talking. So I'm like, all right, well, we need XP. We need color names for Patreon, like the Patreon color names. We need stuff for people to do, and it helps. It certainly helps. It makes things fun.
DC Kyle, is that breaking news? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
I don't. Did they confirm it? Because Souza
said he got hurt pretty bad on that stupid turf baseball field. Who does that, dude?
Yeah, and that's kind of on Souza though. Apparently, I didn't see it, but I guess Souza was not. Shouldn't have tried to take third.
I don't. He hit his shoulder pretty good.
Yeah, that sucks because Souza was coming along. All right. We've already got people asking about the wide receiver talking or throwing shade. I kind of thought that was.
Let's get into that.
I thought that was common knowledge.
There's a picture of him.
There is a picture of him.
I guess once you're like in it though, and once we're live, you don't see that picture.
No. So no. Well, I mean, when you click on the link, right? Okay. Yeah. Former Arkansas wide receiver. Let's pull him up on the screen here. Isaiah Centenia. This is from Best of Arkansas Sports. Shout out to them. Evan and the boys over there putting in the work. Michael Main published this article earlier today, April 14th. It's not hard to figure out Centenia's OU. A little more professional than Arkansas comment. And so Travis and I decided that we weren't actually going to read this until like we were live. So we're going to react to this.
I have no idea what this says. I just made the graphics.
You did.
Yeah, that's on me, guys. I put a clown nose and clown wig on. What's up?
No, but you know what? I saw it beforehand. You showed it to me and you're like, what'd you think? And I was like, you know what? Keep it.
He had full clown makeup for a minute, so be happy.
Former Arkansas wide receiver Isaiah Centenia's departure to SEC foe Oklahoma was hard enough to stomach. Yeah, it always is, especially when it's OU. The loss of Centenia, the Hogs, third leading receiver in 2024, left an obvious on-field hole, especially with the graduation of Andrew Armstrong and Isaac Tesla. But the fact that he's a Fayetteville product made things that much worse. Fortunately, Arkansas doesn't have to face Oklahoma this year. What do you mean, fortunately? What do you mean?
I wish we did.
Yeah, really. Like, come on, man. No, we want OU. I would want them at least in Fayetteville. But the juniors' recent comments about the Sooners' offense seem to throw some shade on Arkansas quarterback Taylon Green and offense coordinator Bobby Petrino.
But be careful, Bobby Travis motorcycle over there kick his ass.
Oh boy, neck brace and all. It's been a smooth transition. It's SEC to SEC. So this again is quoting.
Is it though?
This is quoting Isaiah Centenia. It's SEC to SEC, so I kind of know what to expect. Centenia said of his move to OU in an interview earlier this month. It's a little more professional here. So I'm loving the transition, and I'm loving Oklahoma. That's the first part. There's more. Tell us.
I'm not super offended at all currently.
Yeah, that's not that
Don't really
bad.
care. It's not that bad.
It is a little bit of shade, though. It is a little bit of shade because he says straight up it's a little more professional here.
Do you think it's because Venables is a dick?
What do you mean?
Venables comes off as like the really strict coach, that just take no BS kind of guy.
Well, I guess you would need for him to expand on what he meant by it's a little more professional here. Like, what exactly do you mean by that?
John Everett said another route Centenia whiffed on.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Oh, maybe he won't drop a touchdown passes this year. Yeah, he had at least one drop.
Get this man some stickum.
The Sooners haven't had the level of success they were hoping so far under head coach Brett Venables with a 10-win season in 2023. Hell, Arkansas would kill for a 10-win season in 2023.
Hell yeah.
With a 10-win season in 2023, sandwiched in between 2, 6, and 7 finishes, Venables actually finds himself on the hot seat.
Kind of similar to the way Pitt is, like
in some ways,
you have the one good season and the 2 bad ones around it.
Yeah. Here's where I think there might be a little bit of a diss. I did actually see this. Isaiah Centenia's praise of John Mateer disses Taylor.
I was going Mater there. I ain't even going.
Or maybe it's Mater.
John Mater.
John Mater. Yeah. The Hogs were a month later to the party than the Sooners, but Centenia ironed out his NIL package and arrived on campus long before those executives took charge. Blah 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 blah. Oklahoma State brought in Washington State transfer. Yeah, his numbers, and I would argue against who, but then again, we'll see, right? I don't know what to make of him yet. I really don't. When you get those West Coast quarterbacks, I just I don't know. They are in the SEC now, so he's going to get tested. But John Mater, we'll call him, as its field general, the top quarterback in the portal this offseason. He was the number one. Well,
what school was he at last year? I don't even
he
know.
was the number one quarterback in the portal. I mean, technically, if we're going to go by every single quarterback that has entered the portal, he wouldn't have been. It would be Nico Iamaleava. But we'll touch on that later.
That guy.
Yeah, he's at Washington State. It's right there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry. I'm also
Washington
blind.
State.
Let me zoom this in, dude.
The top quarterback in the portal this offseason. Here's where I think there might be a little bit of shade. I wanted to play with one of the top quarterbacks. I got that opportunity, so I couldn't turn it down. I don't know, bro. That's a little. That seems a little like a little shade tossed. I mean, I don't think when you talk about like professionalism, and I realize he's still, what is Centennial? What is he, like 19, 20 years old? I get it. He doesn't have media skills. I don't think they're teaching media skills.
Maybe it's more of like a backhanded compliment, like. I'm not super offended by that.
I'm not saying you got to be offended by it. I don't think anyone should have to be offended by it.
I didn't read that, and I'm like, screw that guy.
The question is whether or not we're offended by it. Is this shade? I think it kind of was.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's a little bit of shade. We do.
Well, Talon didn't really help his case much last year, did he?
Well, what do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean?
Just like Talon just was not very consistent last year. Centennial was his guy, though.
I think. Well, Armstrong was his guy.
Yeah.
I really think it was him not being the top dog at Arkansas last year. I mean, Centennial, we got to remember, this dude was a 4-star, and as he was being recruited out of Fayetteville, like there were talks of this dude being the next big thing out of Fayetteville High, the next big thing out of the state. Like this is someone that's, he's a track guy. He'd committed to multiple schools in high school. I think it was A&M and then Oregon, if I remember right. And then obviously he'd end up signing with Arkansas. He was highly recruited, highly rated 4-star, comes from a track family, good people. And I actually interviewed Centennial his senior year in high school. I had him on and I did an interview with him. He's a good kid. He really is. But yeah, I think when you do something like this, when you transfer, there has to be a certain level of etiquette. I think that I think most schools would want their players to have when they talk with the media. And I don't know. Then again, you don't mind a little shit talk. Even if he is throwing shade, I really don't care. I really don't. Like part of me is like, yeah, all right, talk that trash. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't think he crossed any lines. I do think it was a little bit of shade thrown, but it's like it's harmless, which all shade is anyways. I mean,
I just think could be flipped into the other way around of him going, no, I wasn't against Talon. It was just like, that's like safe shade. You're like, no, I just wanted to play with this guy. I was just big up in my quarterback, Yeah. So Talon texts him. He's like, dude.
Yeah. I'll say this though, for Green last year, I think it was a lot of people know where I stand with Green. I think he caught a lot of unnecessary nonsense from people. I think the expectations, I don't know if that's because it was Bobby's.
I think that was why. It's Bobby, the God came back. You know what I mean?
But how many quarterbacks their first year have 24, 25 touchdowns with almost 3,800 total yards of offense in their first year? Wasn't redshirted here the year before. He was playing at Boise State, right? Ryan Mallett, his first year.
I was just about to ask you, how was Mallett's first year?
Mallett's first year was not 3,700 total yards of offense.
Yeah.
It was like 32, I think.
Dude, if they could figure out how to close, and if he can make better decisions with these passes and just not get picked so often, it's like,
well, he didn't get picked off a ton. Let's not act like he's
like taxes, bro. Every game he was good for one.
He was good for at least a turnover, not necessarily a pick.
That's fair. That's fair.
A turnover, because he fumbled the ball a lot. And I called him, he's like the ultimate double-edged sword. He's the ultimate double-edged sword. Like on third down and long, 4 games into the season, you were fine because you knew Talon Green was going to convert it one way or another. He's either going to throw to a check down that was going to get a first down, or he was just going to take off and run. The problem was,
he says some were from drops too. They really were.
Yeah, that is absolutely fair.
Stone hands.
We've got Pooh Bear on the line.
Yeah, Pooh Bear. Dropping
What's up,
knowledge.
man?
Tusk Talk, it's an honor. Travis, it's an honor to meet you, man. How you guys doing today?
What up, brother?
What's going on?
Man, I just kind of wanted to jump in and talk about, these hogs, publicly. Whether it's the basketball, I like what you guys were talking about with Talon, because I think this year is it's the statement year. You're talking about all these yards that he got, Ty, but man, he did that against UAPB and the UABs.
Mhm.
This non-conference, we got Notre Dame that just played in the national championship.
Got a hell of a schedule this year.
I mean, I'm rooting for the kid. I promise you, I wasn't just I just wanted to see the competition. They told us about the competition that took place way over there, but I wanted to see the competition myself on the field.
Mhm.
That is why I was so critical of what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel that. I didn't feel the sense of urgency. I didn't feel like they had to win ball games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know Sammy felt it.
That's fair.
I would, if they'd have played like they played in Tennessee against Tennessee, holy crap, the whole year they was rolling.
Yeah. They don't win. They definitely don't lose as many games as they play like they did against Tennessee. Yeah, you can bring up UAPB, and that's fair. That's fair. But let's not sit here and act like every other quarterback in the SEC didn't play some garbage ass school and stack up numbers. Like, the bottom line is this dude threw for almost 3,200 yards and ran for 600 yards against Texas Tech, who was already not great on defense. I get it. They had a staff wipeout. They were hitting the portal pretty hard in the defense. But he's still, like, this dude ran for 81 yards, had over 400 total yards of offense by himself while being sacked twice. He was sacked 6 times against Texas in a game that, it was not pretty for him, right? Like, if you look at some of his worst games, he's getting pressured. If you look at his PFF week to week, his high pressures, he doesn't do so well on completions, combined with drops and combined with him fumbling the damn ball every game. Again, he's a double-edged sword. Like, we could point to, like, the UAPB example, but then you look at that Tennessee game. Go back and watch that opening drive. That opening drive was a masterclass by Bobby Petrino and Talon Green. It was a masterclass. You ran up like an 8.5 or 9 minute total drive. You took their offense completely out of sync. And that was because of Talon Green. Go back and watch. It's incredible. He is capable of really high level play of ball at quarterback. And then he's also almost as likely to turn the ball over or kill a drive. So it's like, you don't know what you're getting out of Talon Green every week, but at his best, he could be an all SEC caliber quarterback. No doubt about it. I think some of that is offensive line was garbage, receivers dropping balls, and it's the first year in the Petrino offense. Let's see what he does year 2. But now you got all this turnover on the offensive line. You got all this turnover at wide receiver. I don't know who's going to be receiver number 1 in this offense. So I don't know, man.
I think it's going to be CeCe, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
The more I watch it, the more I think it's going to be CeCe. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, while we got Pooh Bear on here, I got a question for everybody.
Okay.
Where the hell is Crutchfield? What is going on with this guy? I haven't heard a damn thing about Crutchfield. You know what I mean? Like, at all. Is this kid going to hit the portal?
I don't.
If he's running with the threes right now, the kid's going to leave.
Yeah, I think they said he was like the 7th man. He's running like he's the 7th on the depth chart. So to what it seems to me is he got that NIL bag. Who knows what he got to come back to Arkansas as like the hometown hero. He could know something that we don't. Like, he's the number 2 guy, and none of us know that. I mean, it's too hard. It's too early to really tell, honestly.
I wouldn't.
The problem that I see right now isn't necessarily Talon or our offense. I'm more concerned about our defense stopping teams. So the pressure isn't, hey, we got to go score a touchdown every offensive possession, because then that's just piling on the pressure. It's like you said it best, Ty. You said the opening Tennessee drive was a masterclass by who? By Bobby Petrino. I don't understand why he wouldn't call more plays like bootleg rollouts when you know your quarterback's strengths and weaknesses. So hopefully there's something that I don't know. But again, the thing that I'm more concerned about is definitely the defense applying more pressure to the offense.
Yeah, I heard the
Secondary,
defense is pretty rough this year.
The secondary is a concern at safety. I don't know what's going to happen with the pass rush. I don't. I'm like, we're going to get into
more
the
edge players, don't they?
Well, yes and no. They do need another defensive. They need another defensive lineman. However, Soli has been great in spring camp. That's all I keep hearing. Is Soli has been great. Soli's been great. I'm getting texts about Soli. A couple other guys off and on have been pretty strong, and he's right. I mean, Pooh Bear's right. Like, it's a little early, but we'll have to wait and see. I haven't heard. I'll just say this: I do talk to people that are at practice, and they're not telling me great things about Crutch. I don't know if it's that he's just struggling to embrace and understand the offense. You know, he is just a redshirt freshman. We can't act like this is some super senior or fourth-year guy or third-year guy.
That's right.
So, you know, we got to give him a little bit of time. We'll see what happens at the end of spring camp going into fall camp. I don't think he portals because I'm sure there's an NIL tie-up in there somewhere unless someone comes along and just out NILs you for him.
True.
But I don't know. Well, I want to answer this question, though. Peanut Butter Posse, like, sometimes comes in here and he's a really, like, he has pretty decent arguments or whatever, or has some good takes. This is silly. Is Arkansas not a joke? Baseball school that loses first round, football is trash, basketball that gets sloppy seconds and acts like it's some accomplishment. We have had more success lately in every sport compared to Kentucky. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was just sitting here trying to figure out a sport they've beat us in recently.
Like,
they're lucky we don't play in football. We'd probably trash them.
Rupp is basically Fayetteville East. Like, what are you talking about? Musk could win inside Rupp. We beat you no matter where we play. You don't have – now, last year, Kentucky did beat Arkansas in baseball, but whatever. When's the last time you guys made Omaha? Like, the standard here in baseball, by the way, Baum Stadium is still one of the top two, you know, depending on whether or not what you think about Mississippi State, is one of the top two stadiums in all of college baseball. Like, Dave Van Horn, say whatever you want about him, he gets Arkansas to Omaha. And by the way, when he retires, the next guy in, that's going to still be the standard. The standard is to get to Omaha. What is it at Kentucky? What's it been? And by the way, Cal, like, that was the thing that Kentucky fans were telling us about Cal. How, like, oh, well, you're not, you know, you're going to get to the tournament, but you're going to be a one and done. That's all we've been since 2020. Well, what happened? His first year here. Yeah, with Kentucky players. That should be more sickening for you, because with Wagner and Big Z and these guys, Thero, with your players, we went further. We went further than you guys since 2020 up until this year. You guys did make the Sweet 16. Congratulations. Like, that's your height. That's your height of basketball since 2020. So, and then Cal comes here, first year he makes the Sweet 16. So, I don't know. That's a weird argument for a Kentucky fan to make. Peanut Butter Posse, do better. Do better, man. That was
damn, Cal. Man, bro. Woo! Get him, Ty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, just really to add to that, Ty, I mean, when is the last time Kentucky has beat Arkansas in Rupp Arena?
It's actually a good question.
Muss years?
Yeah, it Muss did go there once and lose, right? Was he 2-1 inside Rupp?
I think so. I know they came to our house and beat our ass the last time Muss was there.
I remember the Qual. I can't get over one of the best moments in regular season history was that Qual's last second dunk. Oh my God, that was a thing of beauty. It was so great.
That and Devos against Auburn was awesome.
Oh God, yeah,
that was great.
It sure was. Yeah. Was it last year? Did they go into? Was that last year?
Kentucky was in the College World Series last year.
No, I think he's talking about when. Yeah, you swept Arkansas in the regular season. Cool. When's the last time you made Omaha?
The banner.
Hang the banner, son.
Hang the banner.
What's the overall record since Dave Van Horn's been the head coach against Kentucky? I'd like to know that. Anyways, moving on. Pooh Bear, you got anything else for us, man? What else you got?
Man, I'll throw this out there. About Calipari. All right. He says, which I have all the faith in the world in him. I mean, hopefully he knows, again, more than we do. I mean, that's his job, right?
Right. Yeah.
But he claims the SEC tournament is not important. Okay, and I kind of want to ask this question to you guys because I have more to this.
Okay.
But how important is the SEC tournament to you guys?
Not at all.
I think it would be cool if they won one.
I've never cared about the SEC tournament.
So I have a question, a stupid question probably, but I have a question. If the outright, like, that's how you win the SEC championship, right? Is winning that tournament. So if you finish first in the SEC, you don't win it, right? Because it's not divisions.
Wait, what? Yeah, if you win
SEC, you got to win the tournament, right?
Well, no, you can win the regular season, right? There's the regular season,
and then what's the point of the tournament?
Well, that's been debated since the whole automatic qualifier stuff. Like I
told you it might be a stupid question. I was just curious.
No, it's not a bad question. It's not. I'll just say this. I don't care about the SEC tournament. I don't know that it really, like, we know that selection committee, or at least we've pretty much heard this, that they've basically had their minds made up before these tournaments even start. So I really don't know their impact. I maybe a little, maybe if Arkansas could have gone in and at least made the championship game, that might have bumped them up a seed. I don't know. I've heard even in-state people have different takes on this, right? All the way from Kevin McPherson, Mike Irwin, the guys on the radio, name them, like they all have their different takes on how that works.
Sure.
So I don't know. It's just meaningless. I think all conference tournaments, they're meaningless just from from the outside, not even the outside looking in, from 1,000 feet above. They don't mean a damn thing. What ultimately matters is getting to Mars, which is the national championship, right? That's what matters. How far you go into the NCAA tournament.
I just think it'd be cool to be like, even if you lose in the tournament, you'd be like, well, at least we won the SEC. That was cool.
We don't have a great track record in the SEC.
No,
tournament.
we don't. No, it's not good.
No matter who is coaching.
With Muss, it was always like,
thing.
Yeah, with Muss, it was always like, good, we get to rest. Same thing with Cal this year, honestly. I would have been happier if we had won one more. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of excited because
I want to hear it.
at the beginning of this year, trust me, I completely, totally agreed. It was a first year. We lacked the depth. But here's a couple statistics for you, for everybody. Since 1994, there's been 7 national championships teams from the SEC. 6 of the 7, 1 was Arkansas in 94, 3 have been Kentucky, and now 3 has been Florida. Okay?
Damn.
So 6 of the 7, all of them, besides Florida in 2007, they won the SEC tournament and then went on to go win the national championship.
Yeah.
Cal's statistics, every time he's won the SEC tournament, he's 100% on making it to the Sweet 16 or deeper.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
So, I mean, I kind of agree, like, in this scenario where we didn't have the depth, we didn't have – yes, but what are the expectations now? I mean, that's really what you got to ask yourself.
For the SEC tournament or just in general?
The overall big picture.
Well, the overall big
picture. If we win the SEC tournament, we got a great shot at winning the national championship.
That's fair. I think it starts with the depth for damn sure, because this year I was like, man, I hope we don't go too far in that tournament. I don't want to get our guys beat up.
I know it.
With having the depth, hell yeah.
If you had 10 fully healthy guys and you weren't really concerned, like you liked your rotation, you would have been ecstatic about making the championship. You would have been super thrilled about going further. But again, the point is like I really just couldn't care less. Like at the end of the day, we've seen Arkansas teams, Mike Anderson teams, by the way, played for a championship in the SEC, played in the SEC championship game, couldn't get out of the second round of the NCAA tournament, which mattered more to fans, right? So I get it. Like, and to his point, he's saying you win the championship with Cal or go the distance in the SEC tournament, the odds are very likely they're going to go far into the NCAA tournament. But I and maybe that's true, and that's great. Don't get me wrong; the banners are awesome to hang and all that. But I find myself glad for the content. I love doing post-game content for the SEC tournament. That part is fun. But I'm just so ready to get into the into March Madness.
I hate doing post games when we lose. It sucks.
It's hard. It's hard. Try doing them solo, brother. I'm going to tell you, there's nothing.
I attempted it during the Texas Tech game, and I was so pissed. The camera came on. I'm just like,
yeah, you don't know what to say. First,
I didn't.
Never know what to say. It's.
I wanted to say so much stuff that would have got your channel in trouble.
God, I hate it. Yeah. Yeah, I hate this argument.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
what about this?
I hate this argument.
Let's flip it to football real quick. Right quick.
Who cares if you don't like baseball, Peanut Butter Posse? We do.
I thought you were happy about being in the College World Series a minute ago.
And we're good at it.
What I was going to say is comparing the SEC tournament to football, it's like not making the SEC championship game and still playing in the playoffs and going further. Which one would you rather do?
Wait, say that again. Sorry, my dad's like calling me.
You're good. I said the equivalent in football would be like not making it to the SEC championship game, but going to the playoffs and getting to the second or third game. Which one would you rather do? You'd rather go further in the damn playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's the same deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Well, awesome, guys. I appreciate you letting me get on here and pick y'all's brain. I mean, it was an honor. I just wanted to ask you guys these few questions.
Thanks for calling. Oh, hey, are you going to the scrimmage next weekend?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I really had plans to, but man, I'm Central Arkansas, and the floods here have me tied up. I wanted to go to the Georgia series, the baseball, but I had to hit up my buddy in Florida to go to the game because I haven't really been able to leave this area. But if I go, I'd love to catch up with you guys in person and stuff.
Or you must live in the woods.
I can hear the birds. I can hear them birds chirping.
I'm in Conway.
I just bought a house in Conway yesterday or Saturday.
Hey, you just found yourself a drinking buddy, Travis.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats. Yeah, man. I'm over here by UCA, man. So.
Okay, sweet. I moved out to the woods by Beaver Fork Lake.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Crack open some Modelo's, baby.
Hey, you ever go to Bears Den? I throw down in Bears Den, bro.
Hey, it's a great spot, man.
I love this. Only on an Arkansas live show would you get this kind of content, by the way.
Right.
I love it. I love it, man.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in, dude. If you're in our Discord, I'd be giving you some XP right now. Maybe you should join.
Yeah,
I'll definitely join, and everybody that can hear us, man, y'all join the Discord, man.
Courtney drops dimes on us in the Discord, man.
Patreon chat, she really does.
Yeah, she does.
She does. She drops some dimes. All right, man. I appreciate you calling in, Pooh Bear.
Yes, sir. Y'all gentlemen have a good night.
Yeah, man.
Later.
Great call. Great. Oh,
we
saw his face. He hung up, but we saw his face there for a second. We saw it. Yeah, Courtney does, man. In Patreon chat, she's
a legend.
She is.
What's she doing? Call her real quick. Like Courtney.
She's recording her show tonight. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
sure.
okay.
Dude, dox himself.
It happens.
Make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button. It is the best freaking live show around, baby.
Yeah, Matt, Bears Den is a sausage party.
We're just, what makes this different is we smoke cigars. Sometimes we drink a little, or hitting the vape there, and we just kind of shoot the shit. And we have an awesome community. Really awesome, man. Awesome community.
Discord is a good time.
It is.
We roast me and Ty all the time.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, the memes, like someone just posted another one. And I want to figure out it's actually really good. I don't know if I could share it or not.
Somebody made her put my head on Peter Griffin falling down the stairs. Because I told him I fell up my stairs going to yell at my kid, and my wife cleaned my stairs with veg. Yeah, she cleaned them with. She might as well armor all the damn things, dude. And I just ate shit going up there. And I was so mad. I still got a mark on my leg from that, dude.
It happens. It really does. It happens.
What do you think about Nico, man? I want to hear about this.
Oh my God, Nico! Oh, where do you think he goes? By the way, for anyone that's been living under a rock, if you don't know what's going on, Nico Iamaleava.
Oh, nailed it.
Straight up.
Careful what you say. His brother's on our team, boys.
So the dad is the agent? Because Tennessee fans are claiming it's the dad. So apparently he was going to leave during the playoffs. They were trying to renegotiate his NIL.
Josh Pate was saying that.
Oh my God!
I was surprised to hear that.
Could you imagine Nico going to Notre Dame?
Yeah, that would suck. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't.
Well, we got to play him.
We have a good time against Nico.
Yeah, we already know the game plan.
No, he'd be coming for blood, dude. I hope he goes to Tulane or somewhere like that.
That would suck, though, having to play in Fayetteville 2 years in a row as a visiting quarterback. I mean, I don't know.
I would enjoy it.
Nico to UNC. I've heard that that's not going to happen.
It actually is reported that is not going to happen officially because they're picking up some kid from South Alabama.
Yeah.
Yep. I was actually just reading that a minute ago. Apparently,
Yeah.
Belichick's out.
Yeah. I wonder if that was just they weren't going to pay him his $4 million.
I can't believe that schools are even interested with
What?
the way that it went down.
Do we need to look at his numbers and try to justify his?
I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I mean character. Or the company he's keeping.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, you want to get involved with that?
It's not like he lit the world on fire statistically. Now
he
wasn't
as a 5-star with a mountain of hype.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going, yeah.
Well, he was a redshirt freshman quarterback. Everyone, like, let's not get too like.
He's gonna get better. I think he's gonna end up even better than he is. He'll be a good quarterback, and he'll probably get drafted. But
he is the number 1 overall quarterback that hit the portal, right? I think the overall on the year he would be number 1. I think.
Hey, is Peanut Butter Posse in here?
Is he?
You just had a D lineman enter the transfer portal, bro. Go check on your people. Kendrick Gilbert plans to enter the transfer portal per his agent.
Camo said that Nico and Green are like the same quarterback. I would say, honestly, I think Green, with what he had to work with, I think I would take, I'm going to say this, I think I would take Green over Nico.
I would take Green based on height alone.
On height? Well, they're both 6'6".
Are they?
Yeah, he's 6'6". He's like, he's got 3 inches on his brother.
I still take Green because of the experience.
When you look at his numbers, he was slightly better with completion, almost 64%.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm full of crap. Maybe I would take Nico. I'm thinking about it now.
I don't know. I mean last year, like overall last year. I think Nico had a lot, like the offense was just better. Like Nico
had better pieces around him.
He had better
than Talon had. If Talon would have been Tennessee's quarterback last year, he would have looked equally good, if not better.
Okay, so you think Nico would have been better? Hold on. Do you think Nico would have been better in the offense a year ago than Green with Petrino? I'm talking about
ours.
If you just swapped them, who would have the better year? Because in Josh Heupel's system, as a redshirt freshman quarterback who knows the offense, he was in it a year before. He did play a little bit. He throws for 2,600 yards. Still throws 5 picks. And I think he lost.
In Heupel's offense, I feel like. Yeah, I mean,
well, no, but I'm saying no. I'm saying you swap them. You just basically have Nico as your starting quarterback last year in Petrino's offense, or would you keep Green?
I don't know, man.
Because I think what you have to factor in when you talk about what Tennessee was able to accomplish, you have to look at the pieces on the board that Tennessee had to operate with.
Yeah,
I think Camo's argument might actually be pretty sound. They're like the same quarterback.
So are we sitting here going, maybe Green's better than we think?
Green, I think, is better than a lot of people.
Pieces around him last year.
I think Green is better than people think, but with his schedule this year and with all the newness on offense, I don't know what to expect out of him.
To Green's credit, with those bad pieces around him, he outthrew Nico by almost 1,000 yards, 1,200 yards. Right?
Yeah, he had
3,800 or 31?
No. He had 3,800 or 3,700 total yards of offense.
How many yards did Green put up last year?
It's 37 something. 25 total touchdowns, I think.
Damn.
And Nico ended up with 20, like the same number.
With more talent around him.
Better offensive line.
Tennessee was a good team last year.
They're very good.
It twisted.
I think their defense was really good at it was very Bobby Petrino 2010-ish. Like their defense, maybe it wasn't that bad, but
Matt's got a super fair point. He said, and we beat him head to head.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
Point.
Fair. I mean, let's just say it. Arkansas was one of the worst defenses in all of college football last year.
Damn.
In almost every defensive metric, they were awful. Now, run defense, let's be fair, their run defense was actually pretty stout. They were pretty good.
Landon Jones or Jackson. Landon Jackson,
yeah.
Landon Jones.
Really good against the run. Very, very solid edge guy that could play out in the flats. Really athletic. I wonder if he doesn't sneak into the first round. I don't think he does. But anyways,
how's Nico look with Andrew Armstrong, bro? That's the question.
That's a fair point too. I think here's what I would say. Nico's probably got a higher ceiling. He was highly regarded, right? He was highly rated as a freshman. He's mobile. He's 6'6", like 215, 220. I think his ceiling is higher, and there is a reason why. But if Green, and I forgot who said this, but someone said if Green had entered the portal, he also probably would have been a 4-star in the portal.
Probably so.
I mean,
I think Green's a good quarterback, man. You got to work on his decision making, and getting another year of the system under his belt is going to be awesome.
You guys tell us in chat, who would you rather have?
Green or Nico?
Green or Nico? In last year's in last year's offense. Steven 1383 says, and he looked like a freshman quarterback. Well, he's a redshirt freshman quarterback, and Green is older. That is also something that's worth.
You know what I do love about Razorback Stadium is we do have a tendency of rattling freshman quarterback. We did it to the Texas quarterback. We did it to Nico. There's been a few, and it's like when they're bringing a freshman in there. We did it to was it Auburn? Or we did that at Auburn, didn't we?
Well, they went on the road and beat Auburn. Yeah,
Hank Brown. Yeah.
Oh, you got a lot of people saying TG over Nico. Look at this. Patrick Smith says Green.
Pooh Bear. Probably right. Oh, War Machine says Green. Damn.
Oh, War Machine. Whoa. Yep. He says Green. I'm taking TG all day, baby.
Yeah.
War Machine. Guess what? You know what War Machine has in common with you and I and Matt? Do you know what he has in common?
Handsome son of a bitch.
He's probably prettier than we are. He's in Tusk Talk Discord, so maybe you should join too. Yeah. Here's what he says: if Nico can't thrive in that offense, then he won't thrive anywhere.
Facts.
Yeah,
that's fair, man. With those pieces in that offense,
good Lord, everyone is taking Green now. Someone on the outside looking in would say, "Well, this is just Razorback bias." I don't think so.
I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm torn because they're both pretty decent quarterbacks. I don't know.
I think his ceiling is higher. He's not there yet. And maybe a year or two down the road. Hell, maybe next year. Maybe he goes somewhere.
Also, who the hell knows how he would have grasped Bobby's offense?
Did you hear? So did you hear how this all came about though with Nico?
No.
The Oregon coach.
Oh, yeah. Dan Lanning.
Yeah. He reached out to Tennessee and said that he was looking around.
Allegedly. I don't think he's supposed to do that. Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's dude, good for him. That's awesome. He's like
TJ.
I didn't know
31. No, he's not. He's like 28.
He's up there.
No, I don't know. I think
I don't care. He's not. We have wide receivers older than our quarterback, so it's fine.
And this is a good point, and I agree with War Machine. Nico has great talent upside, just not sure if he gets there. Yeah, that's the whole point. You got to get there. Hey, War Machine, telling you to join the Discord. Join the Tusk Talk Discord. The Patreon is worth it alone if you're a paid member, but even if you're a free member, we have fun. All the real deep sports talk.
Good stuff's in the Patreon, though.
It is.
Ty had to let me in there eventually because I was like, "This is not working." He's like, "You have access," and I was like, "No, I don't, bro."
Yeah.
You got the Patreon link, Ty? Drop it.
Oh, hell.
Pooh Bear said, "Drop the link."
Well, you know what? Hang on. I will. Keep talking, though.
Don't offer your services and then not have them.
Well, it's but it's down below in the description box. It's down below. John's in here. He
John Halls, come on, man.
Here's another interesting factoid about War Machine. He was my very first interview.
I remember that. I remember when you interviewed him.
He's a good dude.
I think I still lived in Mall Mill at that point before I ever moved here.
There's the Discord and there's the
boom. Join it. Do it. It's awesome.
Go now.
Go now. Get to the job.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh, it's awesome.
I don't know, man. This scrimmage, moving on to I'm going to say this. L. Ron Hubbard. Oh, my God. Just join our Discord.
Who?
L. Ron Hubbard.
Sweet.
Do you get it?
No.
L. Ron Hubbard? You don't know who that is?
No, dude.
Oh, dude. Let me tell you. Do you have a moment to talk about Scientology? That's the dude that founded Scientology. He wrote the whole sci-fi book and all that.
That's wonderful.
Created a pyramid scheme. I'm sorry, in case anyone's listening.
How about them hogs, Todd?
Yeah.
Swerve back in there. You know, you about to take the wrong exit, brother. You about to take the wrong exit.
The legendary War Machine. Yeah, he's in here every once in a while. He's in here. I need to get him back on too.
War Machine, the legend.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to use that all night.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, like it.
That's good.
Scientology, my man.
I'm going to say this about Madden Amaliava, Nico's brother. Does this worry anybody that this could rub off on Arkansas? That this could happen with Madden Amaliava? Here's the thing. Year to year, it's so different. We don't even know like what we're going to look like next year if Pittman doesn't keep his job. Bobby Petrino will not be here. So it may not matter what happens, but does that give you any concern? Let's say, okay, let's live in a fantasy world really quick. By the way, Peanut Butter Posse must have dipped. That's too bad. But let's live in a fantasy world. Let's say Arkansas wins enough to keep Pittman's job. Let's say that's 8 wins. And Mad Niamaliava is the next guy up, as presumed, right? AJ Green probably going to go pro or he's going to move on. Does that concern you with what's happening with Nico? If, it sounds like his dad was involved. Does that concern you with Madden?
A little bit. If he moves into the position I think he's going to as a QB2.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that with everything I'm hearing, if he does that, it could become a pain in the ass. Really.
Yeah.
It depends though, because I also heard Nico said screw it and got a real agent after all this happened. If they'd have done it the right way, this should have been solved in December. You know what I'm saying?
Did he take the Braylon Russell route? And did he go to Facebook and Twitter?
Ooh, speaking of, did you hear what happened to Braylon?
Wait a minute. No.
He hurt his leg yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, he sprained his knee. He's out for all of spring.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
I did not hear that.
Yep.
I haven't.
He had 4 carries for 2 yards yesterday and then ended up getting hurt.
Oh, see? Did not know that. I have not. I've gotten some. I did not even. Wow.
Yeah, I have heard. I'm glad you said his name because it reminded me of it.
I have heard Washington. Rodney Hill had a really good spring or a really good scrimmage last Saturday. Had a really good scrimmage. He had one really big run. I think he carried the ball 6 times, maybe over 100 yards, scored 2 or 3 times. Washington has been the guy. And I realize too, football hype level is not super high right now. And I was really hoping, I hope we get good weather next weekend. And you guys, maybe some of you will go. I'll be there. I'll be there. Even if there's clouds in the sky and it looks kind of crappy, I'll be there. I'm hard to miss if you want to come up and say hi. I'm like a big fat Sasquatch. I'm hard to miss. So don't be afraid. I don't know how often if I go to a scrimmage.
Wearing the Flintstone outfit, carrying the club.
Yeah, that'll be me. So I've had people DM me like, bro, I was kind of shy to come up and say hi to you, but I saw you at the game. I'm like, bro, just come up and say hi. Don't be shy. So come on up.
He's approachable.
Come pop a squat next to me and let's watch this. Let's watch the scrimmage. Just don't ask me a bunch of damn questions.
If you see me in person, you better bring beef jerky because that stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
AJ Green, that would be interesting.
Oh yeah, that is
AJ Green comeback story, bro.
It'd be interesting to see what he does. He's kind of the complete
fresh
package.
off of an ACL. I don't know.
Right.
Is he the same guy?
I don't think he had a very good spring, or I don't think he had a very good scrimmage.
Isn't he a walk on?
I got a.
I swear to God, he was walking on.
Did they give him a scholarship?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't remember if they did or not.
I swear he was walking on, and everybody thought he was going to be a defensive back, but it was actually just a typo. And he's yeah. But yeah.
About AJ Green or Green, he's a dual threat back out of the backfield. They got a couple of those guys that can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is always good, especially in a Petrino offense.
I just want them to put AJ in and run him on some wheel routes. And then just so the announcers have to go green to green.
Oh, War Machine. It's going to be at the spring. All right, man. Yeah, come say hi. Yeah,
we'll be there.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. You guys should all be there. By the way, make sure you like and share on Twitter. That'd be great.
I'm taking the small child with me.
Yeah, you said that. You said you were taking the kiddo. What do you want to see the most out of the scrimmage on Saturday?
Functionality. A functional offense.
Yeah, because that's not what happened last Saturday.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They need to work the kinks out, turn on some pressure. I don't know what kind of turnout we're going to have, so I don't know how much pressure they're actually going to be under.
Yeah. This is fair.
John
this
Hogs
is fair.
Killing me, man.
This is fair. He missed that throw. I don't remember who it was against. Wide open wheel screen. He just throws it behind the guy. And I'm just sitting here going, oh, my God, I just defended you so hard last week. And you missed that wheel route. Oh, it killed me. That is prime Petrino offense. That and, of course, the crossing routes against A&M. That's just, little Jarius, right? Joe Adams action over the middle. But, yeah, that's prime Petrino offense. You have to make that throw. But then he'll make some wild-ass throw rolling out of the pocket. It's a low percentage throw, and he'll throw it, and then the receiver drops the damn ball
and put it in the damn window. Functionality I think is the biggest thing I want to see, man.
Okay,
little half line,
yeah.
Spread it out a little bit, open that thing up.
Absolutely.
Giggity.
I want to see Xavier Sorey continue his great spring that he's having. I mean, my God, last Saturday he had a sack.
I'm glad he stayed.
Yeah, that was such a big piece.
Mm.
Him and Wallace, the freshman. I told people, I said it when he committed. That's a dude that's going to step in no matter what they do in the portal. He's going to step in to be in the 2 deep, and he's doing exactly that. I love it. He is
Wasn't he pretty highly recruited?
Yeah, oh yeah. He did drop several weeks after committing to Arkansas, but
they all did.
But he is, watch out for him this year, man. Watch out. I want to see Sorey continue to play at a high level. Really want to see what happens in the secondary. There's going to be some rotation at the both safety spots. I want
to see the O-line step up.
It's going to be difficult. It's always hard to gauge line of scrimmage play because they can't really do much to the quarterback. The way they call sacks is if it
proximity sacks, right?
Yeah, proximity sacks. If they're within, basically like flag football, which I wish they would just do with a quarterback, just at least put a flag on the guy. That way, I don't know, it just looks better on camera, although that's not going to be televised.
Too much money involved to hurt anybody.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to hurt the quarterback. But I want to see the functionality of the defense. I want to see what's going on in the secondary and Xavier Sorey and the linebackers, the guys behind him, the guys in the 2s on defense. And yeah, I'm with you on the offense. I want them to have a bounce back weekend, which is typically how these things work out. It seems like with Pittman. I
got a question for you. If our defense sucks this year, you think they pull the trigger on T-Will?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they should.
Yeah,
they should. If he can't get it. If this year's like it was the last couple of years, yeah, you gotta pull the trigger.
Sucks, man. It's like the first year he came in, we were pretty decent.
Well,
if I remember right, one of those years I thought we were okay.
They were better in certain categories, but and listen, they weren't. I am a little harder on T-Will because I was bought in on T-Will, especially after that first year. I thought, well, they'll build off this.
Great recruiter.
And they took steps backwards. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, Otis, that defensive lineman, they expect him to be in the 2 deep, 3 deep. He's going to be in rotation, I think, by the time it all rolls around, assuming he stays healthy. You look at what they did with Selman Bridges. Selman Bridges is coming along.
Yeah,
he's coming along. So
Charleston, is he doing any good?
Wait, who?
Oh, what's his first name? Or what's his last name? It's Charleston White, maybe. No, what's his last name?
Are you talking about the defensive end?
Yeah. I don't know his last name, man. Help me out, chat.
2024 kid.
Yeah. I know exactly who he is.
Collins, right?
Collins. There it is. Charleston Collins. Collins.
It's whatever. Charlie Collins. Yeah, he was the highest rated player of that 24 class.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Not Charleston White.
Charleston White.
That must be an internet figure or something, because that was in my head.
I think he's done. I don't know what he did Saturday. I did hear he had at least a pressure on Saturday, and I thought I heard last week. Well, it was the week before. No, it might have been the week before spring break that he was coming on pretty good. Him and Rhodes both. But Selman Bridges in the secondary is coming along. He's apparently getting a pass breakup like every fastball. Every time they're out in fastball, he's out there making plays. He's either around or near the ball, or he's deflecting the ball, or his timing's been a lot better once the receiver is targeted and he makes contact with the player who's making contact with the ball. It's all about timing, right? Forcing the pass breakup. He's coming along there. Quincy Rhodes has been the guy. Like Quincy Rhodes is someone I've been high on since he committed. And Collins too. Collins was really highly rated out of that 24 class. And I think Rhodes was somewhere in there too. And I think the other thing too, now that we're talking about what's going on with Braylon Russell, now it's like we're gonna have to keep an eye on the backs, right?
Yeah, or do they bring another one in?
I don't think so.
Window's about to open. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
How many we got? What we got?
Well, I mean, you got Rodney Hill, you've got Washington, you got Tyrell Reed, the other kid, Pope, unless they moved him. Did they move him? I'd heard rumors they were moving him. I don't know if that's happening.
And AJ Green and then Braylon. We have 6.
If it's depending on the severity of the sprain, he'll be back for fall camp. But
apparently our special team sucked the other day too.
Yeah, and, I heard that. Yeah, Starzik was like, not good, and he is a true freshman. But it's like that's not something you want to hear about.
Little bro, I don't want to hear that shit.
Isn't our tallest receiver like 5'8"?
They're pretty small, dude. You know,
They're
I'm surprised that Raylan Sharp is coming on like he is too.
I'm not too surprised by that, really.
Yeah, I just figured. I don't know. I just wasn't sure if he was SEC caliber.
That's true. That's a fair. Well, you can make that argument too about two.
I believed in him,
guys.
and I knew, you know, and I know he knows the offense, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was like, okay, but I just wasn't sure, and I'm still not sure. We'll see.
You've got Jacaden Ferguson, who I wonder what he does. I really want to see him come along. He's like 6'3", 185 pounds. Crutchfield 6'2". Omega Blake is like 6'2", 6'3".
Crutchfield's 4 foot tall on the bench.
That's true. Yeah. Monty Harrison, who played special teams last year, who will be a sophomore, 30-year-old sophomore. He's 6'3", 6'4". That dude is a beast. When I walk by him in practice, he looks like a linebacker. I mean, he is just.
Who's that?
Monty Harrison, 6'3", 230 pounds.
He seems like he's a big dude.
Played Major League Baseball, you know. His scholarship is being paid by the MLB, so he doesn't.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you got a pretty good deal out of him. He's kind of a, you know, when I watched him practice
right now, isn't he?
When I watched him in practice, I thought, okay, he's going to make the field, but I don't know what's going on with that. And I think we're still waiting on Jordan Anthony too. And I don't know.
Anthony's going to do track.
I think he is, and I don't know why they're not just coming out and saying that.
Pitt kind of said it.
He did, but
you know,
it kind of was like a wait and see too, though. With Jordan Anthony,
I think he's going to do track. He was bitching last year about something on Twitter and stuff like that. Like he wasn't very happy. I think he's going to do track.
What did he?
Yeah, it was something on Twitter. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember him going or complaining on there, like something about I'm by myself kind of thing. And
he certainly came here to run track. I can't find my cutter.
Well, he picked a good school to do it at.
Oh yeah, it's the best school to do it.
I want Monty Harrison to get awesome. Or Monty Harrison.
Monty Harrison, yeah.
Harrison. I want him to get awesome because he's so big and physical.
He's huge.
Them catches down, dude. He can bully these kids.
Yeah, he's huge.
That's why Jaden Wilson left, because of Monty Harrison.
He's a monster. Yeah, I want him to come along. You know, being older, I really thought that he would. You know, because that's not like your typical freshman coming in. This is a guy that
he got a grown man brain.
He's that, and he played Major League Baseball. Like, you know, how cool of a story is that? If someone like that came along and was awesome, you know,
he was highly recruited out of high school, wasn't he? And then he was like a 4-star or something, and then took 10 years off and came back, and he's still doing it.
Yeah, and he looks the part.
That's pretty impressive.
I was surprised he didn't get some looks last year at wide receiver, like, you know, like legitimate looks. I was a little surprised by that. I thought he would, because he looked pretty good in spring and fall camp. So I don't know, but I'll say this again. I'm there's a lot to look out for if you do go to the spring scrimmage. Again, this is not televised. It will not be televised.
Really?
So, no, it's not televised.
I kind of like that, so they don't know who to steal from us.
I don't, because I can't go back and I like going back and watching those, you know, and trying to get
my camera, dude. We can do this.
You better bring a hell of a charger pack.
Yeah. Bring all the batteries.
We'll just have to rely on what you see, and it's gonna be like old school. It's gonna be like writing shit down, trying to keep up with it all.
Right.
Yeah, I am. There's a lot to watch. I think too, the receivers, like who steps up in the scrimmage. Again, I'm gonna say it. I say it every year, and I have for as long as I've been doing this. And I've said it when I'm on Mark Rogers' show, and some of his chat kind of disagrees with me on this. I don't care. You got to take the spring scrimmage with a grain of salt, period. Like, you're not, if someone's bad, that doesn't mean they're going to be bad, you know, when fall comes around. I can remember Tyler Wilson. I think it was his first spring scrimmage where we got to see him, and he didn't look super great. And I remember all the message board, you know, quarterbacks talking about how awful he was, and or maybe it was Brandon Allen. There's one of those two didn't have a good spring camp, and I seem to remember Tyler Wilson just not living up to some individual, not everyone, right? That wasn't necessarily the narrative for Tyler Wilson by anybody, but I do remember fans bitching about Wilson and being like, he's not going to do anything. And then Ryan Mallett gets knocked out of the Auburn game, and Tyler Wilson lights the world on fire. And we kind of knew what to expect in 2011, and look what happened. So you just never know, right? You got to take spring games and spring camp with a grain of salt. It's mostly just to familiarize you with what the depth kind of looks like and who's playing where and what they're experimenting with. But make no doubt about it, though, if Green is not pressured at all, well, then the talk's going to be our pass rush is terrible. It won't be about how the offensive line dominated. It'll be about how there's no pass rush, which might be valid.
I started to hear yesterday that the defense is starting to catch up with the offense a little bit.
They certainly did last Saturday. Again, the defense apparently sounds like they had the better part of the scrimmage.
Bobby, I'm telling you, dude.
What's up with Crutchfield? Yeah, we talked about it. We don't know really. It could just be, Bobby Petrino. That could just be it. It's a new system, and Crutchfield's having a hard time. I don't know. Are you able to record the scrimmage and post it?
War Machine's gonna be there.
Yeah. Is he still in chat? War Machine. Are you gonna hold your phone up like Pinto?
He's gonna get highlights, bro.
There you go. Post them on his YouTube.
It's kind of crazy they're not televising it. But
what is?
Do you think it's because they don't want them seeing our players?
Okay, so there are two thoughts on this. Number one, there's a reason why, myself included in this, and I'm not the only person that lost access to practice, and I'm not credentialed anymore. And there's a reason why. They are shrinking. They're narrowing who has access to practice. And it's definitely we don't want stuff to leak. We don't want, like, when they email the media, okay, I could copy and, well, I won't, but I could copy and paste what they tell you in that email now. They didn't used to do this. Okay. I've been going to practices for what, 22, 23, 20. So for 3 years, I was getting those emails. They never put the stuff in their emails. Now they tell you what you can and can't do during practice. Like, they don't want you to post, and that's perfectly reasonable. And they're not the only school that's doing this. Courtney Mims will tell you this. They don't want you to practice any live updates during a practice.
Yeah,
you gotta wait.
Ain't no more, man. This is a business.
Nobody. Yeah. So I think that's part of it. They don't want anything to leak. Then there's the other point, which is they don't want portal, for players to get reached out to by other teams. The tampering stuff. They don't want these guys to hit the portal, which I'm going to tell you, I think they do lose somebody to the portal after the spring.
Probably.
I mean, to me, it just feels like a given. I'm not saying that because I'm hearing anything.
I just hope it's not anybody major to where we're like, crap. Like, remember when we lost Mike Woods?
Oh, yeah, to Oklahoma.
I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Tampering.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure, man. Dude.
Got a case of
the steals.
The case of the Oklahoma allergies. Yeah. Players might get poached by EMCC. Camo's a hater, dude.
I like it.
Camo is a hater. I don't know that this dude says anything positive about anything Arkansas related.
Maybe he's just realistic, because this has been bullshit for 10 years.
Oh, come on. Let's not sit here and act like, listen, man. Okay, it's not as bad as every fan makes it out to, or some fans make it out to be. You would think Arkansas just went 2-10 last year. All right. Yeah. They blew the Oklahoma State game. I'll give you that. They got absolutely torched by Ole Miss. They looked like shit against LSU. They lost to Missouri. All right, fine. You can rack up all this.
How much time do you have?
But it's still like they still won 7 games. Like, that's just the standard since Petrino has been, well, hopefully you at least make a bowl game. Like, that's been the standard. I don't know. So I think winning 7 games, A&M too. Yeah, that's also fair.
That's a bad one.
Oh, they
Texas.
blew some games. That's either that they're so close, Travis. They're so close. That's what it is. It's that moral victory talk. They're so close.
Brett Bielema, we're close.
Yeah,
we're close.
What Mike Anderson said. Mike Anderson said that for like 3 years. Give me 2-3 years to stack up the roster. And it wasn't wrong. It took him his third year.
Excuse is done these days, isn't it, man?
Well, you can't do that anymore. Yeah, because of the portal. Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
It kind of expedites the process of, are we going to suck or not? We're going to know real fast.
You're going to know quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I do think spring, because of the portal, there is some validity to spring camp, though. Because
you guys are spicy today.
You get a better idea. Yeah, they are. You get a better idea of what's going on with these guys out of the portal, if they're beating out some of the younger guys with more stars next to their names, if they're beating those guys out, which has been the case here. Actually, there's been some guys from nowhere schools come in and gobble up all the minutes.
I got
in
one for you.
football, in
I got one
football.
for you. Speaking on the portal,
Okay.
if Madden beats out KJ, does KJ hit the portal?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll go a step further. I think there's a real possibility here. Well, I said in Discord, and I had Paul, one of my OG in Discord, he disagreed. He didn't think that. I said if Madden Amaliava wins out the job, then the other 4-star, the Wilson, will likely hit the portal after the season. Or one of them. If not Wilson, then Madden, if Wilson beat out Madden. And I still think that's the case. So I think one of those guys, they're going to leave.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Wilson. He was pissed when they picked up Madden.
That's one of the reasons why I said what I said, because you saw it on his face. I have the video clip somewhere. You saw it on his face. Wilson was just, you could tell that bothered him. And I kind of felt for the kid. Like if your whole recruiting process, you're told, hey, in that 25 class, you're all we're taking. And then at the last minute, they go and they get this, this name, Iamaliava, whose brother is.
And he's going, crap.
Yeah. And you see it on his face for sure.
Yeah. I bet he goes. I bet he'll be the one that dips.
I think so. No,
he's going to be awesome at UCA.
I think Wilson could be pretty good somewhere.
Pretty good quarterback from what I've seen. Yeah,
I think he could go to a P4 school, P3 school, and I don't know. It may not be it might be somewhere like a Georgia Tech or something.
He can't go to the SEC. That's all I know. None of them can. Nobody that transfers right now can go within the SEC.
We were just talking about this. Colorado's retiring Shador, and
that's so stupid, bro. They had 2 good years. You guys are idiots.
Is Slash's number? Is Cordell Stewart's number retired at Colorado? It's got to be, right?
Yeah. That I don't know.
If you're going to retire their numbers, how is Slash's numbers got to be? Hell, he's got to have a statue or something. He's like the best thing to ever happen to Colorado.
Pooh Bear said, "What's the word on Kane Archer?" Well, Cash went to UCA, so I don't know what Kane's doing, man. I haven't heard a word about it.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet on Kane. And
I wouldn't get your hopes up, guys.
Kane, so there's still, last I checked, there's still no crystal ball, and he actually dropped. Did you hear this?
No, what happened?
He dropped. He didn't even commit to Arkansas, and he dropped in his star ratings. He's now a 3-star on 247.
Really? They've been pumping that kid up for like 4 years, man.
Oh, dude, there was a YouTube short video that went viral.
TikTok,
or was it TikTok?
crazy.
Yeah, you're right. It's TikTok. They were like, this kid might be the highest rated player, whatever, in Arkansas. And I certainly thought that was the case. They were certainly hyping him up like he was the next. Because if you followed recruiting for as long as I have, and I know there's a number of people in chat that have, Mitch Mustain is still the highest rated player to ever come out of the state. As a quarterback, he was a 5-star. He was behind Stafford, Matthew Stafford. That tells you how long ago it was. He was just behind Matthew Stafford in those rankings. Those rankings may have changed, and you got to remember that's back before. That was back when Scout. You only had Rivals and Scout, I think, were the only 2 big recruiting services. Of course, ESPN was around, but who cares?
It's weird to think Matthew Stafford was ever in high school.
It is weird.
Or college.
Yeah, college. Yeah,
I remember him in college. It was miserable.
It was miserable. He was a great player. But so that was Kane Archer's trajectory. Was like, oh shit, this dude's going to be the next like. And now we know Mitch didn't work out. Mitch was, I think he was like a backup punter at USC or something. But the point being that he was on this trajectory of being this highly rated player, and now he's down to a 3-star.
He's definitely a PE teacher now.
Travis. But he has been recruited. He was visited or was at least contacted by 2 different offensive coordinators at Arkansas. Danny Enos and Bobby Petrino. So
yeah,
as far as I know, there's still an offer on the table, but that's been a year since I've heard anything about Kane Archer. So I don't know. I wish him the best. I really do. All these in-state kids, he's out of Greenwood. Greenwood pumps out a special breed of player, so it wouldn't shock me at all to see Kane Archer go somewhere like a TCU or even Oklahoma State and be something great.
Or OU, they love stealing stuff from us.
Well, again, I don't know how. Just because you contact a player doesn't necessarily mean your offer is super solid, right? But
yeah,
if Arkansas, if it's true that they
where he's going to go, right? He's going to go to Ole Miss.
No, Ole Miss will take, and I hate to say this, but Ole Miss will take someone higher rated for sure. Because the other schools were like App State. He does have a ton of offers, by the way. He had it was reported like 28 offers or something. But you got to look at when those offers were on the table or when they were reported, and what's he done lately. And I don't know. He's regarded as a top 10 player in the state of Arkansas for the 2026 class, though.
That's crazy. They dropped they took a star from him.
He dropped. I don't know when that happened. I feel like that actually happened a little while back. But Arkansas, I did have a Patreon video. I've had 2 Patreon videos on a certain in-state player that's committed to Mizzou, Anthony Kennedy Jr. And I got to say, I called it. I said it on the Patreon. This is why you should be a Patreon video. I said this months ago that Arkansas, even though Anthony Kennedy, highly rated defensive lineman out of Little Rock, again, 6'4", like 330 pounds, committed to Mizzou, and I'd been told that Arkansas was not backing off. And now we found out like a month or 2 ago that he is going to take an official visit to Arkansas in June. So just saying, we're hitting it over here in Patreon. We know what we're talking about. I get some pretty good intel every once in a while. That was a good one. I don't know if they're going to, we'll do some more Patreon follow-up videos on him, but liking where he's trajected right now. The 26 class is top-heavy as usual. You've got like 4 or 5 4-stars. You still got the Danny Beal kid, who I think is projected. I think someone said he was a lock to maybe Ole Miss or Georgia. I can't remember, but
yeah, he's number 1 overall
in the state. Yeah, he's top 15 defensive lineman. Yeah, a national top 125 player. So you'd like to get him.
Actually, Ja'Cory Smith announced the other day he wasn't going on a visit. I saw on Twitter. I can't remember. I didn't even know I followed him. I think he was like not going to Auburn for a visit or something like that.
There's been some movement. Yeah. And that's because of basketball, because of the portal, because of the basketball portal. That's really all I've been focused on.
Me too, dude. This is the first time I've talked about football in months.
Yeah. Ja'Cory Smith. I know who you're talking about though.
He's Parkview.
Yeah. The only thing about him, he's I don't know, man. He's like 5'11", 190 pounds, and he's a linebacker. Like I think he's most likely, unless maybe this is
I'm listed at 6'1".
Well, different sites say different things.
I've heard wearing them shoes that make you taller.
Well, I've heard different. I've heard he's probably closer to like 6 foot, but whatever. I mean, Sam Aljabudu did exist 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So maybe that, but I wonder if he's the reverse Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw, who was a safety at Fayetteville, moved to linebacker and was obviously fantastic, and he's playing.
That guy's all right. I've heard of him.
Yeah, maybe you have the reverse Dre Greenlaw here. Maybe Ja'Cory is going to be an excellent safety or something. I don't know. But Arkansas, Nebraska, Kansas State. I forgot who the others were. I think Oklahoma was involved. So there's certainly some catching up to do with high school football. But mostly right now it's portal talk. So
I usually just do that in the Patreon chat and Discord.
Yeah. The last thing we'll talk about here really quick. We already talked about it. The kid that's on campus right now out of the portal, Florida State kid.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's going to announce soon as well, because he already visited somewhere and now he's here, and I don't know what he has lined up, but I'm feeling pretty good about him. So keep an eye on him, and we'll keep you guys all up to date. We have a list of names in Patreon. If you go to the discussion page and then you go down one spot, it says hoops portal targets. We have all the players, even if they're already committed elsewhere. They're at least names of interest that are on that list. So you can check that out if you just want a better idea of what's going on. If you want a name and stats kind of linked, it's all there for you in Patreon. So, all right.
Sorry, I'm looking for announcements before we get off here on Twitter. Just in case.
There's always something. Every time we go live.
Seems like it. I think we're clear.
Late or breaking, Arkansas loses DJ Wagner and
and John Calipari quits.
Yeah, he's taking. Turns out Muss is leaving USC after all. He's going back to the NBA, and Cal's now headed to USC. Oh God.
Gross.
That would be the most Arkansas thing ever, though, wouldn't it?
Yep.
It's not happening, by the way. Anyone that just hopped in here and you're freaking out. No,
we're just joking. Maybe.
Cross your fingers.
Weird things have happened.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you. I think we're all in agreement that, you know what? Centennia threw a little bit of shade, but again, no one should be offended over it.
Don't set his truck on fire or nothing.
It's healthy. Yeah, don't be stupid for sure. He is a Fayetteville kid after all. I know that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people, but it sucks that he went to Oklahoma. I'd like to have seen what he could have done this year, but it is what it is. Anyways, yeah. Appreciate everyone. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out. Shout out again to BroThrow, best in peer-to-peer sports betting. They are again locally operated, man. That's a peer-to-peer sports betting site based out of Northwest Arkansas, coast to coast, border to border. No tariffs included on your bets.
Yeah, clear.
And of course, direct service overhead. My God, the OG of sponsors on Tusk Talk with Ty. Same day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. Give Travis a call, 501-244-3667. The link is provided for you down below. And again, Patreon supporters, man, oh man, you guys also alongside Travis and BroThrow, you help keep this ship afloat. And I do appreciate each and every one of you. We've got the new name scroll for Patreon members for last month. We'll throw that up here in just a second. Travis, I appreciate you taking some time out of your evening, sir.
For sure. Thanks for getting me out of the birthday party.
That's what I'm here for, man. We got to get Tim back on here too.
Eventually.
One day, right? One day. All right, everybody, be good, and we'll see you next time.